Earl Vernon Mayo, running back, jersey number 24, jersey number 43 my first 2 years. I changed in honor of the great Lenny Moore, the running back for the Baltimore Colts.
Bob Flaky Wade, position, cornerback. My number was number 15.
As young ball players in our 20s, most of us are of the same opinion. It was just another game on our schedule. And we didn't care if we were in Orlando playing against this A, B, or C team. We were just ball players. It was another game. We didn't know the impact of it. It was just another game on our schedule. And we won, we came home. Coach Banks, go to class, turn your uniforms in. See you next year.
And of course, playing that game in Florida, which was, it was very rewarding. But at the time, I did not realize the significance of the game. But now, of course, 50 years later, you realize the significance of that ball game.
First of all, at that time, no one realized it would be the first and only time a historically black college would be playing in a bowl game.
The first time a predominantly black institution played a predominantly all-white institution. And the game was, of course, played on national TV up and down the eastern seaboard. So it was just a tremendous experience.
We were honored when the Florida Citrus Bowl Commission called Morgan's athletic director, who called Bob Wade. And it was just a great feeling to know that that game 50 years ago was so important to the people in Orlando this year, the 50th year. And we just gathered our thoughts and found a group of 10 of us who were invited, and we just packed up and tried to recall memories of that game, which was held December 10th, 1966.
It was a tremendous experience. Reuniting or reconnecting with my former teammates, of course having President Wilson to be present, and Mr. Kerr, my good friend Floyd Kerr, present, and the wives, of course. But more importantly, it was very gratifying that that 1966 team, or our team, was being recognized by the committee, the former Tangerine, now Citrus Bowl or Buffalo Wild Wing committee.
I don't remember exactly, but in talking to my teammates in the last 3 months, they have reminded me how hard it was for us to get a drive going because of questionable calls by the referees. Ronnie Green, who played linebacker for us, just told me days ago that the referees warned the defensive guys to watch their elbows. That's how we play football, with our elbows tackling, and for the referees to tell our defensive guys to almost lighten up. That was unusual.
We played under NAIA rules, and this game, of course, was a different level contest, NCAA contest, and freshmen could not play. It was a tremendous blow because, the likes of Mark Washington couldn't play, Raymond Chester couldn't play. These were, some of our key ball players. But we rallied around, those, the guys who could play. We rallied together and we did the best we could with the, being short-numbered. We did the best we could. Coach Banks, he was a tremendous tactician, an outstanding coach. He made the adjustments. He moved some personnel around and said they had to play different positions or, what I recall, he just told us to, to keep doing what we were doing, make the adjustments. We made some adjustments because Westchester, they like to pass. They were a very good passing team. And we made some adjustments. Jesse Thomas was our defensive backfield coach, and we made some adjustments between the cornerbacks. Ed Hayes was our safety. He instructed us to make some adjustments, namely, playing inside out on slot receivers. We did that, and we came out victorious.
Coach Banks, we shared the same name, first name, Earl. And I remember when I first saw him, he came to D.C. I was at Spingarn High School, and he said, "Wow, you're a big guy for a running back." And then I said, "Okay, you don't put." I told him I also play linebacker, that's the first time I met him. Then having met him at Morgan, he was a nice guy. He really was. I mean, he didn't have favorites. He was fair.
He was a no-nonsense person. He was a very simplistic person. He believed in being, just being simple. He did not a lot of fancy, double, triple reverses, flea flickers. He just believed in, hey, we were going to run in this hole. I want you to block it. And until you stop us, we're going to continue running that play. He just believed in hard-nosed football, and he challenged his linemen each and every game, his offensive linemen. He would always identify the so-called top defensive player, and he would challenge his linemen. You can't block him. I believe he'll be all world on you. He was a good psychologist. He really psyched guys up to give their all.
Well, Coach Banks and other coaches, Coach Hill, Coach Hurt, they all instilled academics. There was no, we're going to practice and skip classes. He allowed us to go to classes, like some guys had lab classes past practice time. He knew that was more important at that time than football.
The life of a student athlete was very, very rigorous. So you had to go to class, you had to do your assignments, you had to be respect your instructors, respect your peers. He did not tolerate guys not doing what they were supposed to do, both academically and athletically. But life as a student athlete was very rewarding here at Morgan. We kind of pulled together academically. We would help each other. We would communicate with each other. So if I had a history class and Mayo had a history class, we would collaborate and try to help each other. We'd go to the library when we could and interact in the dormitories. We would try to pull together to help each other because we didn't want to lose anybody, so we all pulled together.
Football, the major thing I would say even to the kids I taught in my classes, it's a team sport, particularly in football. You can't do a thing without the other 10 guys. Football is one of the main sports that a large group of young boys become men, and they share these experiences for 4 years, and their life, you just remember them for the rest of your life. Togetherness, and that's why we stay in touch now. We were young 18-year-old guys who still stay in touch in our 70s. And it's all because we had positive experiences. If they were negative, we wouldn't be gathering together like we do or staying in touch. That's what Morgan did for us.